more. So the first thing is they want you to prove sine squared theta equals 1 minus, a half times 1 minus cos 2 theta. What's wrong, Charles? One minus cos 2 theta. You want to show that's equal to sine squared theta. So this equals a half, 1 minus, in brackets here, cos squared theta minus sine squared theta. They tell us we can use that. So that's a half, 1 minus cos squared theta plus sine squared theta. Now, just remember that 1 is the same as sine squared theta plus cos squared theta minus cos squared theta plus sine squared theta. So what's great here is that one and that one will cancel. So you're left with sine squared plus sine squared, so it's 2 sine squared theta, but of course that one and that one will cancel. So you're left with sine squared theta, which is what you should get at the end. Okay, so that was part A. Yes. Hey, a little bit late there, aren't you?
Are we doing past example?
No, actually this is my family recipe for chicken curry. Charles chooses what it is. What? It's recording, it is, yeah. Yeah. What is? Did I say we were going to do questions? Oh, Q&A.
Yeah.
Oh, well, that was before you were here, and then the class decided we'll go this.
We'll do this then. Give me 15 minutes at the end.
15? How many questions do you have?
6, 7.
I don't know.
3 major ones.
Don't you have extra maths on a Friday?
Yes.
And?
Yeah.
I just want to try and get as many past questions done as possible. I feel this would be better for you. Yeah, but it is still good to get the answers in the extra math class. Anyways, we're looking at page 6 now. Are you stalking me, by the way? The glasses.
I just stuck in the bus.
Alright. Like, Ali, don't trust him. Okay, so... come on!
What question?
Who have I got now? Dan and soon.
Sorry. We really want to have problems. Ow, ow, ow. I'm not Tinder.
Let me see what you got.
Which paper are there?
Caramel frappuccino?
Yes. It's too obvious, no. Too obvious.
Oh, this looks nice. It looks the same. Caramel frappuccino with whipped cream. It's not caramel.
No.
What is it? So, E-G-E-S-F Espresso frappuccino. What is it? What is espresso frappuccino? I'm talking about frappuccinos over here. Just leave them, please.
I don't care.
This is the reason you're late?
Because of him, the guy. No.
Alright, fine.
He's not professional.
No. Disgraceful. Yes, Andy.
Did you do B1?
I did.
How late am I?
Got a lot done. I did it with the other students.
Oh, okay.
And I did B6 again. Because I thought I rushed it too much earlier. So you have a flash B1 and a B6 for when you go home.
Okay.
Right, now the B part of this, this is on page 6 by the way guys, they want you to calculate this now. 0 to pi sine squared theta d theta. So you should use the formula they're giving you here. Sine squared theta, they're saying, is a half 1 minus cos 2 theta d theta. So that is a half 0 to pi 1 minus cos 2 theta d theta. So that is a half theta minus sine 2 theta over 2, 0 to pi. So we'll put the pi in first and we'll get pi minus 0, and then we put the 0 in second and we'll get 0. So the way I see it, this should be pi over 2.
We could also solve it using integration by parts formula.
Yes, although that would be much longer, but still fine. Yes?
We turn the sine squared theta into...
A half 1 minus cos 2 theta, they gave us this formula in part A. The part you missed. Can I go on to part C now? So part C is absolutely amazing question. It's like Santa Claus came to you and gave you this question, because it is almost like what you did in semester 1. First, I'll divide everything by 2, and I get cos squared 2 theta minus sine squared theta. Now, I say it's almost like semester 1 question. What's the only difference here compared to semester 1?
2 theta.
The 2 theta. Do you have a formula for cos 2 theta, though? You do. It's in the A part. What did they say in the A part is cos 2 theta? Cos squared minus sine squared. I'm sorry, I said it's like Santa Claus came. No, it's not that easy. Sorry, I got too excited. What? Not quite Santa Claus. This here, I should first change this into cos 2 theta minus sine theta, cos 2 theta plus sine theta. Now I should replace the cos 2 theta. Cos 2 theta is cos squared theta minus sine squared theta minus sine theta. And then this is the same thing, cos squared theta minus sine squared theta plus sine theta equals 0. Which 2? Oh, they both have 2. Yeah, so just deleted it. I'll change cos squared into sine squared, so this will be 1 minus sine squared minus sine squared minus sine, and this one here will be 1 minus sine squared minus sine squared plus sine. So this one here is minus 2 sine squared minus sine plus 1, and this one here is minus 2 sine squared plus sine plus 1. I shall multiply both of these by minus. I get 2 sine squared plus sine minus 1, and 2 sine squared minus sine minus 1. Plus, plus, minus, plus, minus, minus. Or to write it more fully out, well, I don't need to. You know S stands for sine theta. Now, I do wonder if this has factors, because if these have factors, because that would be fantastic. Right, first one, 2 sine theta, and then sine theta, sine theta, sine theta, with a 2. Okay, I want plus 1 minus 1 maybe? 2 sine theta minus sine theta, fantastic. Oh, and then here, minus 1 plus 1. Great. So I have 4 answers at this point. I have sine theta equals a half, sine theta equals minus 1, sine theta equals minus a half, sine theta equals 1. Now, how many answers does each of these have? Can I see the calculator, please? How many answers does each of these have? 2. 2 each, you're right. So in black now, the first one would be theta equals sine inverse a half, which is pi over 6. This one here is theta equals 3 pi over 2. This one here is theta equals minus pi over 6. And this one here is theta equals pi over 2. How do you find the second answer for theta?
180.
Yeah, in this case, pi minus the first one. So this is 5 pi over 6. And the second one would be, sorry, that's not right, no. Hang on, pi 2 over, no, I think I've done something wrong here. I don't think this is quite right, sorry. Sorry, this is totally wrong. Well, not totally wrong, but not the right one to put here. This is minus pi over 2. Okay, now that's all fixed. So pi minus pi over 2 is 3 pi over 2. I would have gotten the right answer in the end, it doesn't matter. Pi minus pi over 6. And then pi minus pi over 2 is also pi over 2.
How
Yeah?
do you find the second?
Is pi minus the first answer for sine, and cos is 2 pi minus the first answer. Now you realise some of those answers are actually the same, and also two of the answers need to be fixed. Which two? This one here, I need to fix it. And this one here, I need to fix it. And how do I fix it? Do you remember? Plus 2 pi. So this would now be 3 pi over 2. And then here when I do plus 2 pi, 11 pi over 2, I think. Huh? This one? Sine inverse half. What's wrong? Yes. So now I have 8 answers, but in the book they say only give the answers from 0 to pi. So, accept, reject, reject, accept, accept, reject, reject, accept, but they're the same, so reject that. So I get the answers are pi over 6, 5 pi over 6, or pi over 2.
What did you do at the start?
The start? At the start, I use this handy algebra result. X squared minus y squared equals x plus y times x minus y. It's a useful trick. Not necessary, but convenient. Okay, we're happy with that?
Is it or? Should I have to write or? Can I write and? When I write and?
No, it's an or, not an and.
So if I write and it's wrong.
I'll still give you the full marks. But it is an or, not an and. Do you know the difference?
No, because
Here, I'll tell you the difference. What's the difference between these two? Anyone know? Yeah.
I don't know what that was also.
You can't, it's impossible. You can't have x equals 1 and x equals 2. You can't have x equals 1 or x equals 2, that's fine. And what about this? X is positive and x minus 1 is positive. Is that possible? Yeah, that's possible. So I mean, and you can't have it, but you can't have it here because you're saying x is 1 and x is 2 at the same time. It's not possible. So it's an or for you. Hang on, let me stop the recording here. Unless the question, is it related to this question? Yes, what is it?
The two answers that you fixed by adding.
2 pi, yeah.
Why did you fix them?
Because the question says the theta should be from 0 to pi.
From 0 to pi, but then at the end he chose 3 answers.
Because there's no way I could fix them to make them between 0 and pi. Like if you look here,
3 over...
like this one here, 3 pi over 2.
Yeah.
If I took away 2 pi from that, it would be negative, and I'll still reject it.
Oh, okay.
There's no way I could ever fix these ones to fall within the domain of 0 to pi. Anything else? Should you drink your drink fast? She has over half left.
So actually when I reached here, it was like this. Because I drank half way on the way.